Play Wittman.
Díky moc krát. Já dneska bohužel nebudu mluvit česky, i když nějak to trošku umím. Jsem tady 16 let, jsem Američan. Sorry about the elections. I was going to be talking something about Trump and Hillary. I completely took it out of my presentation because it's just not funny or happy anymore. If I'd like to just try a quick exercise with you, could I ask everybody to stand up? Could I ask everybody to raise your right hand and pick up your right leg? Isn't that amazing? Thank you, sit down. Everybody else was doing exercises. I figured it's 4:20, so why not do something to wake everybody up? Guys, I'm the CEO of GoodCall, as I mentioned. GoodCall is a disruptive recruitment company that's trying to fix the recruitment industry. For any of you who have tried to hire talent in the last 2 years, you'll know why we're trying to fix it. We still got a lot of work to do, but I think we're on the right path. When we started GoodCall, I came from an e-commerce startup background where actually it's a little bit easier to create really cool, happy, awesome benefits because you're working in an environment that is simply expected that you're going to be doing cool, crazy things. And when I came back into recruitment, which I had been to before, the challenge was, can we do this in the recruitment industry, which is known to be relatively conservative, not as much as, say, a bank or something, but it's not the most dynamic industry on earth. So can we bring this cool kind of e-commerce startup feeling to a recruitment company? And one of the things that we did in the very beginning was we decided to put, as has been said a couple times, we took it from Richard Branson and Virgin, let's put our people first. Let's start with something as simple as trusting our people, which was also challenging. We're hiring many people where it's their first job, and we need to trust them. We hired one girl who was 19 years old, and that girl, after receiving a bonus incorrectly, came to me the month later and said, Blake, there's a problem with my pay. I said, oh shit, okay, show it to me, what? She said, I said, what's the problem? She said, it's not my problem, it's yours. And she told me that we paid her too much money. And she didn't deserve it, she wouldn't take it, and no matter what I said, no matter what as I tried to explain to her, we really appreciate the honesty, she would not take the money. She had been fully inundated and, I would say, nicely brainwashed by our concept of trust and putting people first. We don't have a huge budget. We're 2.5 years old, so we can't build a gym. We can't have open kitchen with food all the time. We don't have the money for it. So what I'm going to be talking about in the next couple minutes is how to do happy people, as we call our policy, a little bit on a budget. We started, similar to some of the other companies here, we started with the office as well. We decided instead of doing all these random benefits for people, let's give people a really cool, fun place that they'll love coming to. Our old offices were a single hallway with a couple big rooms. The new ones are complete open space with a startup feel and culture. And it all starts with a simple concept of trust. We understood that concept not because we said, hey, we're going to trust people. We did it actually naturally. We worked with Bara Chernikova, who's sitting here, to help us on an EVP, an employer value proposition, and it came out over and over and over. People trusted us, and what they respected about us was that we trusted them. Even a first-time employee, first job, 1 week in, we didn't check their hours. We didn't necessarily watch when they gave us their hours at the end of the month to see if it lined up with what they had done. We simply trusted them, and some amazing things started to happen. One of the areas that we gave them complete freedom on, even though we have to serve all of our clients and everything, is, as a lot of companies, we gave them flexible hours, meaning they can come and go as they please. If somebody needs to leave at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to go run an errand in the city, I don't really care whether they come back to the office or not. If they want to go home and work in home office, I don't care. If they want to do something and go to the doctor in their home city on a Monday because they're there on the weekend, it's fine with me. Whether they come at 10 o'clock and leave at 4 o'clock or come at 8 o'clock and leave at 7 o'clock, I don't care. Because we built a culture of trust. So I know they're getting it done. I see the numbers anyhow and I'll know if they're getting it done. The other areas was the startup culture and the mindset. And part of this, as Pavlina mentioned as well, if you have that startup culture and mindset, you expect people to be responsible for themselves, even a first-time job. And it worked and is working extremely well for us. One of the challenges, though, of putting people first is, of course, you have clients. And in our case, we have candidates as well. So the question comes, how do we truly put people first? What about a client who comes and says, we've got this big project for you? Internally, the rule is, if we don't want to work with them, we don't. I asked the recruiters, would any of you, be honest but not too honest, would any of you want to work for this company in a future life? Obviously not leaving GoodCall. But would any of you actually consider working for them, or would you feel comfortable recommending them to one of your family members or a friend? And if nobody says that they would, we don't work with the company. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes I'm thinking of saying, well, I'd like to work with them for this kind of fees and money. But at the end of the day, it has to be their decision, because they're going to be doing the daily work. They're going to be the ones that are driving the process with the client, having our sourcers all motivated and rallied up. And if they can't honestly get on the phone to a candidate and say, this is a fantastic company, I don't want them working on it. So the other things that we added were that for any of you who work in large global organizations, you know that technology can be one of the most horrible parts of your day. We decided to take technology and make it a benefit. We created our own custom software for our recruitment systems, our mobile app, and even the sourcing and the plugin that we created for Google Chrome to make the sourcer's life easier. We can customize it on a weekly basis if we need to, so our systems don't destroy us and frustrate us. In fact, the opposite. They motivate us. And even we added a BYOD policy, bring your own device policy. If you use your own laptop or mobile, we'll pay you. Sometimes that gets out of control, but it's still, I think, a good idea. The other thing we added, everyone knows personal development, of course, and this is kind of an obvious one, except that we have a second business called the Recruitment Academy, where we train the market how to recruit and source. And there we've got some really cool high-level people, including Honza Mulfeit, the former chairman of Microsoft, doing extremely deep, interesting, unlocking human potential trainings, and lots of others worth tens of thousands of crowns. We let our people go to these completely for free. I had a girl come to me, one of the sourcers, about 4 or 5 months ago and say, Blake, I need a Thursday, I don't know, July 7th off. And I said, sure, no problem. You can tell me about it. You don't need to ask normal permission. And then she came a week later, she said, Blake, I'm really sorry. I also need the Friday off. I'm getting married and I think I need an extra day. I said, I was thinking about this, thinking, why is this girl asking me if she can have time off for her wedding? This is nuts. So we put in a new policy. If you're getting married, you can have a week off. Before or after. You want to go on a honeymoon, fine, or you just want to prepare for 1 week with girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever, take a week off. I don't want to see the massive stress going on in the office anyhow. The same with a child. If you have a baby, especially as a father, I think women are taken care of quite well in Czech Republic. But as a father, as a first time, second time, third time, if you're my brother, 5-time father, you get a week off. Spend time with your kids. Spend time with your wife, the mother, help out. Paid for by us. On the social side, I think it's pretty obvious, but we do every single month, minimum one event, organized by the people, how they want, where they want, when they want, and within reason, we pay for it all. One of the challenges we had was that a lot of this beautiful, oh my gosh, we have all these cool benefits. We had some of the young people come in and say, this is fantastic, look at I get all this stuff. It's not so expensive for us, but it's important. And we were finding some of them didn't understand how hard we work. Because when I say that some people come at 10 and they leave at 4, what's usually happening is they work in the evening and they work early in the morning and they work on the weekend. And we realize the amount of hours that we put in is enormous. It's more than most companies that we know of around us. So I switched the viewpoint and I explained to people, we have all these cool policies because we work our asses off. And wake up call, we expect you to. Don't think you're going to come here and it's just going to be, I get some money for having my laptop and I can play social events and get married and have a week off. We work long hours. And I tell them, we work long hours. It might sound crazy. We expect you to work long hours. It's just that you choose how you want to work it. And for that, we give you, every 3 years of service, we give you a month off. which again, in our industry, for not a big, huge company that can kind of afford a sabbatical, I haven't seen many companies do it. We're doing the first ones now, this year, because now we've just hit 3 years, and the first 1 month sabbatical will come. This has allowed us to have a wonderful environment, and what I believe are truly, truly happy people. And so far, it's going well. My time is up. I wish you to be happy and be good from GoodCall. Thank you.
Blake Wittman.